Hey everyone, and welcome to my video tutorial on how to shade with a wood burner. In this short video, I will show you how to achieve shading with a basic technique that you will be able to use in all of your work. I will show you one type of pen that I use for this technique. If you don't have the same pen, you can use one that's similar or a different one that you have in mind. If you find this video tutorial really helpful and you'd like to watch the full length video, it's 2 parts, 2 separate videos. I will leave the link in the description below, and it can be purchased for a small fee on my Gumroad account. In this full length tutorial, I will do full voiceover, and you will also see my setup, so all the basic tools that I will be using for the video, 3 different pen tips and the techniques I use to achieve the shading, as well as 3 practice shapes, and I will go over light source and shadows and where they would fall and land when they hit your object. I will also do a final project with full voiceover again, from start to finish. I will show how I shade and how I add highlight to each area of this project.
This first pen here that I'm going to show you is my small round shading tip. I use this a lot for textures and for larger areas. I'm going to make sure my pen is turned down quite low again, and again I will use those circular motions. I also want to show you different ways that you can hold the pen to create different styles. So this here is using just the tip of the pen. Using just the tip of the pen like this, you can get into smaller areas. I keep it held at an angle, as you can see there, but I'm still being consistent with my circles. Now if you hold the pen flat, you can use the bottom of it also to achieve shading. But even with this, if you're moving it just back and forth in lines from side to side, you're still going to get those hot spots. You can also move it in a circular motion to get a smoother burn. But when I work with this pen for my projects, I don't like using the full flat surface of the pen. I prefer to have it on an angle for my work. I keep it on either a sharp angle or I have it tilted down just a little bit, but I never use that full flat surface. We're going to do those fast circular motions. My pen is still turned down low, so I have more control over the heat output. The faster I go, the lighter it's going to be, and the more consistent I can make my burn. If I slow down, it's going to get a little darker. I have turned the heat on my pen up just a little bit. I'm going to darken the right hand side and slowly work my way over to the left. As I work my way over to the left, I'm going to go a little bit faster so it's lighter. This will help give me that transition I'm looking for from darker to lighter. You're going to keep using those circular motions and slowly turning up your pen or slowing down your circular motions to make it darker. Go as dark as you want and keep playing around with this until you feel that you're comfortable with it. I'm going to turn up my pen here to get it nice and hot. I'm going to start doing my swirly motions again, but because my pen is so hot, it's going to give me that texture. This is a really great texture, again, to use in your pieces if you don't want that smooth burn. Now for this last shape, I'm going to use my small round shader. Using the same techniques I showed in the earlier part of this video, I'm going to start with a lower heat and do those swirling motions. I'm going to get a base layer down and work my shadows up from there. The darker area of my cylinder is going to be at the furthest point away from my source light. So that's right where I'm working right now, and then I'm going to fade this outwards to the right and to the left towards my highlights. I will then go over with another layer and start making it darker in the same spot, again fading it outwards. Now my base layer is complete and I can start moving on to the second layer of my cylinder. As I'm still using those swirly motions, I'm just going a bit slower. This will create a darker tone. If I go faster, it's going to be lighter. Just like that first layer, I'm going to feather it out to the left and a little bit out to the right. I want to keep those spots where I have my highlights along the edge, but also keeping in mind that my source light is wrapping around the cylinder because of its shape. I'm going to do a darker line along the ground for contrast. I can blend this lightly upwards, but I still have to keep in mind where my highlights are hitting the edges of my cylinder. Now I'm going to darken up the back of my cylinder. I'm not going to go too dark, but that's a personal preference. You can go as dark or as light as you wish. I'm going to use my pencil crayon, and I'm just going to color down the side. If you want an area to look brighter, you can add some of the gel pen or paint to it. I like this one because you can blend it into your burn just a little bit more. And that's it for the first video. I really hope that you learned something from this and have improved your shading or learned a new technique.
If you found this video tutorial really helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and you hit that like button.